Ladies and gentlemen, just back from their 7-month tour of the Isle of Man, please welcome on stage Ireland's latest singing sensation, the Nualas!
Hello! Hello, Cheltenham! Hello! Hello, Harry, it's great to see you. Thanks very much indeed. Hello, we are indeed the Nualas. That's Nuala, Nuala and Nuala, hence the name. We're delighted to be over from the mainland. And it's great to see you. For those of you who've seen us before, hello again. Hello. Great, 5 people. For those of you who haven't, why not? Sure, you're here now anyway, that's the main thing.
It is indeed, and I have to say it's fantastic to be standing here on this glamorous stage tonight in Cheltenham, and I have to say there's just one thought going through my mind, and that is, I hope to hell I've shaved under my armpits.
You have, Nuala, you grand. God almighty, I just want to say thank you so much for coming to the show tonight. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but for a performer, the audience is a difference between a packed gig and an empty one. You are that difference, thanks a million. And you know, of the thousands of people that live in Cheltenham, we're just so delighted that the 482 people we personally invited were able to make it to the gig.
Thanks a million.
Very much.
We're going to be doing some self-penned original numbers for you this evening, but first of all, there's a few thank yous we'd like to get out of the way. First off, I'd like to thank Margot from Weight Watchers. Margot, if you're in tonight, cheers. The 1, 2, 3 is working great. Thanks a million. It's gas, she's 15 stone herself.
Actually, just on that note, can I get in there, Nuala, and say thanks a million to Pretty Polly for the sheer-to-waist, high-shine extra support in the gusset nylons that I'm sporting on my legs this evening. And the only reason I mention it, girls, is because there is a fella sitting opposite me there in a tartan shirt with a pair of glasses on, and I swear to God, he has not been able to take his eyes off my thighs since I stepped out on stage this evening. What's your name at all? Steve, you see, he admits it. Well, now, Steve, I'm just standing here and it just feels like your eyes are boring into my legs.
They're not his eyes.
Jeez, I'll be talking to you later, Steve. All through the show. Watch out.
Nuala was talking about the tie. That just reminds me, Nuala, thanks also to Playtex for the 15.5-hour girdles that we're wearing on stage. They're unbelievable. There's no way now without the girdle I would have gotten away with the dress this evening. Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't know if you can get that up the back. But, actually, ladies, fashion hint there. That layered look is very in for bodies this summer. We've been on magazine covers all over Poland.
They've sold out. Actually, can I just get in there and say that there might be some elaborate choreography during the show this evening, and the dresses will indeed ride up, in my case in particular. In the event of that happening, there is no need for shock or alarm, just remain seated. And actually, can I just also a final thank you to Sony Records. We just today signed a major 5-album record deal with Sony Records. That's 1 each for the 3 of us, and there'll be 2 on sale after the gig.
So watch out for that. Anyway, we'll lash on. As Nuala pointed out, we are all indeed over from Ireland. Is there anybody from Ireland in tonight? Yes! Oh, hello there. Where are you from?
Dublin. Oh, the big smoke, as we say. Very exotic.
Oh, exactly. That's fantastic. And over there, where are you from?
Dublin.
Ah, they're all in.
You probably know each other.
Anybody else from Ireland? Where? Belfast. Oh, good. We're Belfast. Yeah.
So good they named it twice. Fair play to you. Thanks for coming.
Fair play to you indeed. Thanks for coming over. Well, you'll be able to vouch for this. We all grew up in the west of Ireland, and it's very barren down there, isn't it? It's terribly barren. You open the front door, and as far as the eye can see, there's alcoholics. And I'm not ashamed to say it, standing here on this glamorous stage tonight in the £50,000 dress, but when I was growing up, we weren't very well off. But I have to say, my mum was fantastic with the poverty, because there was times when we had nothing at all. And she'd say to us, just remember, the best things in life are free. Which was our cue to go out shoplifting. Do you know something? We were so poor, we'd come home from town and find that we'd only stolen stuff that had been on special offer. And I still remember the Christmas morning I woke up and I was wondering, God almighty, what will Santa have brought me for Christmas? And I looked down at the end of the bed and there was 2 lovely little packages all wrapped up. And I leant down and I ripped off the wrapping paper, and what were they? Only my 2 feet. My mother had pulled back the duvet, wrapped up each foot in lovely wrapping paper, put a label on each toe, love from Santa, and did I mind? I did not. I looked on the bright side. I thought, well, at least she didn't chop them off and leave them under the bed. And we have written our first song is kind of on that theme. And just before we lash into this, I'd just like to invite our pianist for this evening on stage, the wonderful Mr. Seamus Brett. It's a big day. It's a big day for Seamus. He's just received notification that he's passed his grade 2 piano examination. So we got him a lovely piano there, and we'll be expecting some amazing stuff from you. Thank you.
Thanks, really absolute ride, isn't he? So that's Irish for dashing bloke. Anyway, we'll lash on. Nuala was saying there that this song is about poverty. It is, and it's also about a party, social issues and love, among other things. And it's our country and western number, so hang in there.
Years ago we had nothing at all. I had no dress to wear to the debutante ball. Mama and you, we managed somehow. She went outside and shot the cow. She killed it with love, skinned it with care. She made me a cowskin dress to wear. I looked fine in my fresh leather gown, but I had no shoes to wear into town. Mama went out to the chicken shed. She choked a chicken and she made beautiful shoes just like that, with chicken bone heels and chicken leg straps. Though we were poor, I could walk proud with my chicken shoes and my dress of a cow. Thought I'd have a fabulous night, but the ball was in need of animal rights. The party stopped and they all stared. Then a guy in a turnip shirt and flare said, "Look at me, I'm poor too, but no chicken died to make my shoes." Then a man with a tomato hat on his head said, "Look at my pants, they're made of bread. I'll tell you something you should know. You don't have to kill a cow to make your clothes." I saw the truth shine in his eyes. My cowskin dress was a dress of lies. I tore it off and then he said, "Cover yourself with this slice of bread." I felt his bread on my skin. I knew my heart belonged to him. I married that man with the slice pan slacks. I fell in love with his doughy cats. I'm still poor, but my life is the best. On my wedding day, I wore a croissant dress, red roll shoes and a croissant dress, a baguette veil. Ooh, and a croissant dress.
Thanks very much. Jeez, that went down great.
Fantastic.
Oh, that went down great. Thanks a million. It's gas like when you write a song, you think it's shite. Then the audience like it. It's a real bonus. Thank you very much.
It's amazing.
Absolutely.
Actually, other than the people from Belfast and Dublin, is there anybody here now who's not from Cheltenham town itself? Oh yes. Oh yes. Where are you on? From Gloucester. Oh, Gloucester. Lovely. Oh, the doctor, is it? Yeah.
Gloucester.
What is it? You say Gloucester and everybody has a bit of a laugh.
Is there something we don't know?
Yeah. What's something we should know about Gloucester?
There's a big puddle there. Man over there, where are you from? You're putting your hand up.
Texas?
Oh my God!
How'd you get here? In an airplane. Can you believe it?
So exotic. Actually, it's amazing because we're going to be doing some gigs out there in a couple of months' time, and we need somewhere to stay. So,
You know, it's no surprise that you've heard of us because, you know, it's just an amazing time to be part of an Irish supergroup.
oh, it is.
You know, because we get to hang out with all the big names, you know, Boyzone, Bono, The Corrs. We're actually doing a gig with them recently. Do you remember that, girls? We were standing behind the curtain singing and they were on stage miming to us.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was an open-air gig. That Andrea Corr, she is so thin. She had to wear lead in her boots to make sure a gust of wind didn't pick her up and blow her away.
Oh, look at laugh, you may. At one stage, she was on her hands and knees sniffing at my handbag. I didn't know what was going on. I had a ham and cheese sandwich in there. She's absolutely starving. The record company have muzzles on them.
One of them was walking around with the drip.
Yes.
No, Nuala. That's actually the brother she's with. But I hope we're not revealing any naughty secrets about the Irish stars, because we love them all. We're really proud of all the Irish acts who are doing so well in the world today. Actually, do you like Enya? Isn't she fabulous? We love Enya. We love the way she's taken the one tune and turned it into 37 successful albums. And not many people know this about her, but she's actually battery operated, which I think makes her achievement even more impressive. And we've got a traditional Irish song now that's very based on Enya, and when we lash into this now, the people from Dublin and the people from Belfast, you'll hear them keening softly as they remember the homeland.
Oh yeah, you usually hear something like, oh, potato, potato. That'll be them.
Yeah, apologies to the people around them. There's nothing we can do. It's just an Irish thing. But we'll lash on with the song anyway. We hope you like it. It's about a man following his dreams despite the consequences.
It's about a man following the voice inside his head.
It's about 2.5 minutes long.
Lorcan, the man who pushed the boats out to sea. Lorcan, you'll go down in history. You said it hurt you to see those boats tied against their will, so you went down with a hammer to the docks, and you broke off all the complicated locks. You set them free. Lorcan, I'm so proud of you. Yeah, Lorcan, we're so proud of you.
Those fishermen who shouted, "We're going to kick your head in," they didn't see your point of view, i.e. that the boats were crying out to sail away, sail away, sail away on their own and be free on the stormiest night of the year. Yeah, you're a man who knows no fear. And Lorcan, it doesn't matter that the village suffers now financially. It doesn't really matter that fishing was their biggest industry. And it won't really matter that it may take a lifetime to replace the fleet. 'Cause you're a good man, Lorcan, and the main thing is those boats run free. That's why I'm here, making homemade broth to bring you in your hideout in the hills. Yeah, in your hideout in the hills, where you're working on your new plans to set the tractors free. Yeah, Lorcan, set those tractors free. Jesus, yeah, diddly-idle-dum-dee-dee.
You're great.
Thanks very much.
Thanks very much. You're amazing. Thanks. Listen, we're going to lash on straight into the next number because we were speaking to Martin, the caretaker, before the show. He said we need to be out of here by 1. So, what we need you to know, it's important for you to know for this next number, is that we were all educated by the nuns. We all went to convent schools. I was actually educated by the nuns of the Institute of the Blessed Virgin Little John. The nuns were very short. And there was one nun in particular who was an incredible influence, Sister Buzzy. She taught me everything that there is to know about the faith, the Holy Trinity, the 3 in 1. There's God, the head of the church, there's Jesus, the Son of God, and there's Pauline. I actually met Pauline. Pauline was a gym instructor. And according to Sister Buzzy, Pauline was the most important part of the Holy Trinity. They actually went off together, and they're now working with refugees, teaching them basketball in the Gobi Desert. And I'll say this about Sister Buzzy. She was only 3'2", but she could slam dunk like a globetrotter. And what's more, she taught me everything that there is to know about playing the cowbell, and I'll actually be playing the cowbell later in the show. And I just wanted to give credit where credit was due to Sister Buzzy. If you're out there, thanks a million.
I would just like to point out on that note, I don't know, in the convent Nuala went to, there was that sort of crack going on, but in the convent I went to, the furthest thing that the nuns would encourage you to do was to go into the entertainment business. I mean, I always wanted to be a singer, and I remember when I was at convent school, I made the mortal error of going along to the career guidance nun. Sister, direction in life. And I remember I said to her, "Jay, sister, do you know something? When I grow up, I would love to become a singer." And she said to me, "Nuala, if you want to sing, you should become a nun and sing for our Lord Jesus Christ, because when you think about it, isn't God everywhere? And isn't that the biggest audience you could ever hope to play to? You little bitch." I got out of my sight. And she put me off singing for years and years until I met the girls here. But the shocking thing is, didn't I hear in a radio documentary, that same nun, didn't she leave the convent? She got a sex change and a blazon jacket. And she became Daniel O'Donnell. I know, not bad looking for a transsexual nun, but still, wouldn't it make you vomit, wouldn't it?
Would. Anyway, this is
Disgrace.
a bit of information for you, but we are going to do a little number now. It's about a nun, and I just quickly tell them how this came about, because I'll tell you, I went off on a retreat there a couple of months ago with a crowd of nuns, you know.
Excuse me, Nuala, that's not actually the correct term.
Clasher of nuns,
That's
I suppose you'd say. And we were on this retreat and we took a vow of silence there for the weekend, you know. Well, actually, it was just for one day. But I tell you, the most amazing thing happened to me. I was sitting around the table having moussaka for lunch with these nuns, you know. I looked up, and who appears to me in a vision over the table? Only Demis Roussos. Huge, big aubergine in his head. Big, huge kaftan made out of potato. Tomato sauce stigmata, you know, coming out of his hands like Padre Pio. Jesus, Mary, and I couldn't believe it. I was just completely transfixed. Anyway, of course, all I could hear in my ear was, "Shut up, Nuala, shut up!" You know, because we had a vow of silence, and of course they couldn't see him. I was the only one who could see him, you know. I didn't know how they didn't know, because I could see the imprints of his sandals, you know, in the moussaka. But anyway, he starts to recite the words of this next number now we're going to do for you tonight, and it is about a nun, so Demis, I suppose, wrote it. All credit to him. And hope you enjoy it. With this little song, we'd like to take you all for a ride.
Bridget the nun on her little bike. Bridget the nun, she's as quick as you like. Bridget the nun, she was never slow. Go, Bridget, go, Bridget, go, go, go. Bridget was the quickest nun in Ballinasloe. She'd deliver 50 meals on wheels all in one go. Speeding through the parish like a bat out of hell. They'd all be waving and she'd answer with her bicycle bell. But she'd been pedalling much too hard. Her little legs were getting tired. Bridget the nun on her little bike. Bridget the nun's not as quick as she'd like. Bridget the nun, she was getting slow. Oh, Bridget, oh, Bridget, oh, oh, oh. Bridget was deflated like a tire that's been skewered, so the people bought a ticket and they sent her to Lourdes. She bathed in the waters and was physically healed, but inside she was yearning for her spokes and her wheels. Then a shiny lady in cycling gear made a holy bicycle appear. Then she was Bridget the nun in the Tour de France. Bridget the nun, is she in with a chance? Bridget the nun, she was never slow. Go, Bridget, go, Bridget, go, go, go. The cycling commentators, they didn't rate her, but Bridget was driven by a power that was greater, dragging Ireland's hope up the Alpine slope with God as her pope. She knew she would cope. Soon the Arc de Triomphe was in sight. Then Paris saw her bike take flight. Oh, she was Bridget the nun in the air above. Bridget the nun on her bike of love. Bridget the nun, only God will choose whether or not you will win or lose. Go, Bridget, don't be slow, Bridget, go, Bridget, go, Bridget, don't be slow, Bridget, go, Bridget, go, Bridget, don't be slow,
Thank you. Great, thanks a lot. Actually, looking around, I can't help noticing that some of you have had your hair done for the gig. Thanks a million for making the effort. Much appreciated. Don't think it doesn't go unnoticed. Oh, not at all. You're beautiful, beautiful blonde hair. Second row back. Did you see Nuala with the leopard?
I know.
Did you notice that, did you?
I noticed her. I love the way she's gone to the trouble of dyeing her roots dark.
Yeah.
It's a lovely touch.
Beautiful.
Lovely.
Up styles, down styles, every kind of style's going on. Frizzy, shags here. See there? Very 70s.
Lovely, yeah. Some lovely no hairstyles too.
Yeah.
Looking in no direction, but yeah, it's great altogether.
70s, 80s, 60s, 1940s. That's great.
Fantastic.
The whole gamut.
It's eclectic bunch of hairs.
Actually, what's your name? Philip. Oh, very confident voice
Confidence
there.
of that.
Yeah, lovely.
Are you in radio, Philip?
No.
No. You've always got something to say, though, haven't you? You gas.
It's amazing what 5 pints will do.
An Irish lady.
Oh yes, that was she's from Dublin, isn't she? That's right. What part of Dublin are you from, actually? Crumlin. Oh, lovely, lovely. So you're from Crumlin, he's from Gloucester.
How do you commute? What do the kids do?
We have nothing done, she won't let me near her.
She would.
Let me near her.
If you stop drinking for 5 seconds, maybe she would.
I wouldn't blame her.
Well, this is great.
This is turning into a counselling session.
Well,
this is.
Actually, it's very interesting. You probably noted from the timbre of Nuala's voice here that she is actually a professional counsellor at home in Ireland. She's got her own radio programme for counselling. It's called Shut Up and Get On With It.
I've actually been offered a second series. It's called Not You Again, You Big Idiot.
What about the television pilot? It's just called Feck Off. Actually, sorry, can we just get in there and say that we will be using that word during the show?
There will be some use of the word feck. It's not a bad word, don't worry. It's actually an old Irish word meaning good luck.
So good luck to you.
Good luck.
Absolutely.
No, but I was talking there about the hairs, the salon, because I love going to the salon myself, But I was just thinking, the next time you're in there, and Fran or Fritz or Dimpna, are clipping away there, just think for a moment, are they happy? Do you know what I'm saying to you? Maybe they're not, Maybe deep down they're in an awful lot of pain, Maybe the week before they burnt the head off somebody. And they're being sued down to their last curler.
What we are saying here is that it's important to think of the workers, whether they be the hairdresser or whoever. It's important to think of those workers when you're out there having a good time. I mean, for example, the woman that collected your ticket when you were coming in this evening, she was supposed to get married today, but she couldn't find someone to swap shifts with her. If that is not dedication to the job, Steve, I don't know what is.
Isn't true. Actually, just on that note, can I quickly get in and say, on the note of marriage, that all the Nualas are indeed available.
Oh yes, we just want to get that in. You can actually get us on the Nuala website, www.thenualas. /ie.com Fandango.
Alternatively, we're staying in the Majestic Hotel next door, room 365.
362.
108, which is out the back, but it's worth the trip.
So I don't know, did you write that down, Steve? Thanks very much.
Yes, Steve, did you write that down? No, really, Steve, did you write it? Oh, he's pointing to the woman next to
your wife wrote it down for you. Great.
Go on, we'll all come, we'll have a bit of crack.
Well, yeah, we'll have a bit of an old menage later on in the hotel. You have to have something to look forward to when you're up here slaving away, believe me. Now, we'll lash on with this song because, as Nuala said, it is about the workers of the world and it's a bit of a serious number. It's actually about tragic circumstances.
It's called Tragic Circumstances.
The man in the takeaways frying the chips. Nobody knows that he needs a hip replacement. All people want is their burgers to go and their large curry chips. They don't want to know how he is. But his hip is making him sad, and that's why the food tastes so bad. It's limp. Everyone thinks that this silly man's rude because he won't smile when they order their food and drink. But he fell off his bike at the age of 15. The lorry complain when the service is late. They don't think of his desperate wait for a hip. Oh, the silent suffering, sorrow and misery of people in the fast food industry, slaving away to serve me and you.
I said a battered sausage.
But hey, remember they're humans too.
Battered.
Hey, let's remember, don't lose your temper, Hey, remember, they're humans too. A girl in prosthetics is buying some chips. The man takes a chance and asks for a hip as payment. I don't want cash, she says, give me a limb. She opens her suitcase and finds one for him. Hope it fits. He clicks his new hip into place. It's too tight, you can tell from his face. He says, Bummer. Oh, the silent suffering, sorrowful wagering of those who work in junk food catering, slogging away to serve me and you, ignoring the mean things said in the queue.
Would you come on, hop along?
But hey, remember they're humans too. Hey, let's remember, don't lose your temper, from May to December, June to November, March to September, Hey, remember, some of them are human beings too. Thanks very much. Stop it! Come on, stop! Come on now, don't exaggerate.
I'd like to say thanks very much to Fred's on sound there. Cheers, Fred's. Fred's on sound and Fred's on lights. He's actually the one person who's just got very long arms. So cheers for that. You'll have noticed now at this point in the concert that the Nualas are very heavily influenced by many different genres of music. You know, rock, pop, baroque. We listen to many different bands also, you know. ABC, Aha. RCDC. Alice Cooper.
Oh, she was great.
But jazz is featuring very heavily with us of late. Oh, it's so exciting. Any jazz fans in?
Who do you like, Philip? In the jazz department, who?
Charlie Parker.
Oh, Charlie Parker's great on the accordion.
Yeah, we like Charlie Parker too, that's great.
Yeah.
Man from Texas, do you like jazz?
I do.
Who do you like?
Charlie Parker as well.
It's an amazing coincidence because we're going to do a jazz number now and it's totally influenced by Charlie Parker. For the sake of argument.
Jeez, it's great. We're very excited about it because it's a new little curve for us, the whole jazz thing, and it's about, you know, the way you're in a crowd, right, and somebody stands out, you know, they've got that certain je ne sais quoi, you know, that certain I don't know what about them, and you just can't quite put your finger on what makes them so special. This next song is called Oddity. Actually, Nuala wrote it.
Oh, thanks very much. Thank you. Actually, there's just a reference in here we need to clarify. In the song we mentioned the Burren, which is a particularly barren and desolate area down in the west of Ireland. It's very much like your Wales.
Sorry, Freds, could we have a bit of jazz lighting for this, please, if you wouldn't mind? Sorry, Fred's is a bit too jazzy. Thank you. He's...
Oh, for feck's sake.
Are we...
All right is right.
Are we paying for that? I didn't order that, did you?
No, what is that supposed to represent?
I don't know, the front of a BMW. Anyway, a few jazzy chords, please, Seamus. Thank you.
Other girls would not play with her, they choose anyone else instead. They said that she was different, the girl with the cabbage for a head. When it was time to go to school, she didn't want to get out of bed. She'd hide under the duvet and cover up her cabbage head. Do-wah, curly K, it's hard for you to face another school day. Everyone you meet says you look like a freak because you've got a head of edible leaves. On a school trip to the Burren, the teacher dropped down dead. The children were lost and starving. Kay said, "You can eat my head." She sacrificed her life for them to make sure they were fed. So the Pope in Rome, he made her Saint Cabbage for a head. Do-wah, curly K, people pray to you every day. You're the queen of the crop, now you won't be forgot. The patron saint of the vegetable plot.
Ba-da-da, boil the bacon.
Ba-da-da, boil the bacon. Ba-da-da, salt the water. Ba-da-da, put the spuds on. Ba-da-da, set the table. Ba-da-da, one chair missing. Ba-da-da, she's delicious. Ba-da-da, she's delicious.
It's interesting, the last beat of that number there was Thought to Nuala by Van Morrison. You surpassed yourself. It was absolutely fantastic.
One masterclass, 5 hours, one burp. It's amazing.
It is
Worth
amazing.
every penny.
Worth every penny.
75,000.
Pennies. It's great. Anyway, can I ask a personal question of the audience? Are there any single women in tonight? Oh, there we are, one in the front row. Fantastic. Now, the other pertinent question when you admit that is, are you up for it? You are up for it. Well, and can I just ask, are you wearing trousers?
Oh, well, you see, no wonder you're single.
You put on a nice bit of a frock. A little hint when you go out and you're single, you have to show the man that you're kind of up for it, but you have to do it in a very subtle way, because men don't like it to be too in their face, do they, Steve? Not at all. Nothing in your face, or they'll just run 100 miles. But what I usually do when I go out is, if I'm in that kind of mood and, you know, I'm feeling up for it, is I just wear something in my dress that indicates that little bit of eagerness, but not desperation. Do you know, it's a thin line. So what I usually do is, I wear my knickers around my ankles. Subtle, not too in your face. Man gets the hint out of the corner of his eye. Bob's your uncle, coola-boola, off you go. Do you know, and another great advantage is it makes you walk in a very ladylike fashion. Hello, Philip, how are you? But that's good. There you go, it's good, isn't it? The only hint is don't wear big elasticated ones, because you could look like an awful feckin' Egypt, which has happened to me. But there, you can take that. What's your name? Nina, well, you can take that hint now, but it doesn't look so good with trousers.
Yeah, well, it is a great hint, Nina, you know it is, but you do have to be careful, especially if you meet a man that makes you laugh. Because you could be out at the bar after the show, and out of the corner of your eye, you see a man, and you think to yourself, God almighty, he's not much to look at. And isn't it always the way he makes his way over to you? And he says to you, how are you? Can I just say you got a fine arse on you? Can I buy you a drink?
Nuala, that's a great Cheltenham accent.
Thanks, Nuala, I've been working on it. Anyway, he says, can I buy you a drink? And you're thinking to yourself, what the hell, free drink? And then you're standing there drinking a bottle of champagne. And doesn't it turn out, even though he looks like a bulldog chewing on a wasp, doesn't he have a fantastic personality? And he's lashing out the jokes and you're laughing hysterically and you're riveted to the spot. And before you know it, you got a house full of ugly kids. So you got to be careful.
You do, Nina, because I tell you something. In our line of business, we meet an awful lot of funny men, you know, the stand-up comics. Do you know what I'm saying to you? And I'm not afraid to admit it, I've had them all. Oh, yes, Jim Davidson, Jasper Carrot, Trevor MacDonald, the whole lot. And you do have to be careful, and we're going to do a little bit of a warning song now for any single ladies who comes across the funny man, and I'd like to do a little bit of an Irish warning for you. I'll be loosely translating it afterwards, so don't worry. It goes something like this. Dilly no douse so douse, dilly no douse so dee, dilly no douse so douse, is chuck meat sauce on brand new tractor. Non na guiha, gan scommel, spare be. Loosely translated, do not. I repeat, do not. Open brackets, unless of course you're just out of a relationship and you sleep with the first person carrying a duvet. Close brackets. Fall in love with a comedy man.
I saw a man, he told a joke. It wasn't hilarious, but I laughed anyway. He told another, got a round of applause about a sausage and his mother-in-law. Then he pulled a chicken out of his pants. Everyone laughed till their heads fell off. The gags were fast, the timing was right. I fell in love, I fell in love, I fell in love with a comedy man. Comma, comedy, great big comedy man.
He's hilarious.
Comma, comedy, great big competent comedy man. He suggested a drink, I bought him a gin. We talked for hours, we talked about him. He told me how hard it is to write gags, and as he told me, he smoked all my fags. Oh no, in no time at all, I was back in his flat. We were under the duvet, just like that. I said, it's time to take off your kit, but after an hour I said, get off your shit. About it over some smokes. We agreed his talent lay more in his jokes. As I left in the morning, he was eating his cereal. He said, at least I can use this as new material. Now I'm dating a computer man called Rex. Seriously boring, but very good sex. Comma, not so comedy. He's not a comedy man. He's responsible. Comma, great big competent computer man. Great big megabyte man.
Excellent. Thanks very much. That's great. Thanks very much indeed. Thanks very much indeed. We're just going to get some stools now for this next number. We're going to get into the Valdunigan position, and we're going to do a very tender love song for you now. And it's.
Could we have your mic stand there, Nuala?
You can indeed. It's great. Thank
And
you.
you'll see for this number that Nuala has picked up the guitar.
That's right. I've been taking some master classes with Richard Clayderman. It's fantastic. I just play the same two chords over and over and over again. Costs 78,000 pennies.
It's highly effective, though. Highly effective. But anyway, no, but we are going to do a love song, because having admitted all that about love and relationships and everything, we'd hate anybody to think that we've never had experience of love, because we have. We've had at least one relationship each. The one I had was with a beautiful redhead called Cormac. He was from Galway in the west of Ireland, and I remember the first time I ever saw him, the first thing I noticed about him was his beautiful big white bushy beard. He was actually holding a sheep at the time. And the next thing that caught my eye was his beautiful head of flaming red hair. he'd set his head on fire to catch my eye. And I'll tell you something, it worked. He did catch my eye and I fell totally in love with him, totally in love. And he had beautiful eyes. I'm talking about his eyes, he had beautiful eyes, beautiful big bloodshot eyes. And I used to love the way he'd stare off into the distance in 2 different directions. Oh God, we had a fantastic relationship. We had one of those relationships where in the process of getting to know the other person, you learn more about yourself. Do you know that kind of way? Or maybe that's just me because I do all the talking, but it was extraordinary. We're so open with each other and so close, you know, so close. We really totally came together, you know. Well, actually, I'm just talking about one particular night there, to be honest, but how and ever, you know, it was extraordinary. To give you an example, I still remember the morning I woke up and that man turned to me and he said, Nuala, do you know something? Being with you has made me finally realise I'm actually homosexual. The honesty. I appreciated it as he packed his bags and left.
We love all that honesty and our down to our openness. You know, Nuala here, for example, is bisexual.
That's right. I've had sex twice. It was great. But I actually also met an amazing man. Now, I didn't have sex with this man, but he was incredible. He was into real estate. Actually, he owned 6 car spaces in Donegal. But it wasn't just the car spaces that attracted me to him. It was the fact that he could lead. Do you know what I mean? He was a real leader. I'd go and visit him. He'd say, Nuala, come on, we're going for a walk. So I'd throw on a collar. He'd grab my leash and off we'd go. And you know, the fun, the crack that I had with this man was unbelievable. I did all the kinds of things I never would have done otherwise. You know, rolled over, played dead, jumped through hoops, the whole thing. But what happened was one day he takes me for a really long walk. He says to me, Nuala, sit, stop panting, don't lick, get down, good girl. Nuala, it's not easy for me to tell you this. I'm sorry, but I started seeing a chicken. So I'm going to let you off your leash and let you run free. And that was it. I've never met anyone like him since. And I don't mean to be a bitch, but I thought that the chicken was a bit of a dog.
It's an amazing story, Nuala.
It is. It's almost unbelievable.
I feel a lot better getting it off my chest, you know.
Good for you. But if I could just talk about myself for a minute. I, like the other 2 Nualas, have had very few of the kind of long-term, you know, liaisons with the opposite sex. But the one kind of love memory for me is when I was younger, I was doing a line with an older man, you know. Oh, Philip, this fella was so sorted, you wouldn't believe it. His own business, an abattoir. Beautiful Vauxhall Cameroon. Oh, his own bungalow in its own field. Oh, to be totally honest with you, I was in the pig's back. But I didn't think about his age. I was so in love. Until one day, my mother actually sat me down and she said to me, look, Nuala, it's all right now when you're 22. But when you're 42, he'll be 112. So I just thought, Jesus, I better get out, you know. So I broke it off. He was in bits, absolutely devastated. I was absolutely in bits myself, you know, and to get over the whole thing, I just went up to my attic for a week. I just locked myself in there and I just sobbed my heart out. But the other thing I did was, funnily enough, while I was up there in the attic, I wrote a classic. Thank you.
I remember it. You said, I'm going to write a classic.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Write it in my attic. Just in case anyone didn't get it. So we're going to do it for you now, and we'll see you later.
Yeah, so have a bit of crack in the intermission.
Yes, I do. Crack means fun, and not the other thing, or the...
Too much equipment.
Yes.
Anyway,
We'll take it away, so
Yeah.
see you later.
okay.
Good luck to the sing. Lynn.
Yeah, Nina.
Nina, sorry. Yeah, Nina.
It was Lynn last night.
Right.
What a whirlwind.
Where are we? The Bahamas. No, it could be anywhere.
Oh, it's amazing. We have such an incredible time, you know, travelling all around the world. Australia, Singapore, Cheltenham. It's great. Okay, take it away, so.
Shut up.
Gonna write a song about your face. It's very soft and round, it doesn't take up too much space. On the front of your head, you look intelligent and well read, with eyebrows that don't meet. I only met you yesterday, and I'm in love with you.
a song about your head. It's such a lovely shape, and when you lie asleep in bed, I've noted that the spot of baldness on the top is in the shape of Donegal. I've always loved the scenery there, and I'm in love with you. Gonna write a song about your hands. They're the biggest pair I've ever seen on such a tiny man. And it was fate that we should meet at that market on the street. You were holding 15 sheep and 12 sheep in the other hand, and I'm in love with you. Could I write a song about your hump? It's very soft and round, but it's such a lovely lump growing on your shoulder blade, and I can't wait for the day when I'm walking up the aisle and you can ring the wedding bells. You will look lovely in the belfry, and I'm in love with you. I'm in love with you. Ooh, I'm sure my mom will love you too. I'm in love with you. Ooh, I hope your sheep will love me too. I only met you yesterday. I love every lump of you.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thanks very much. How are you? Welcome back. In fact, thanks for coming back. It's a first, thank you.
Philip, thanks very much for sending a telephone number backstage during the intermission. We'll be calling you as soon as the show is over.
We would now like to do a Celtic mystic Irish poem for you. In this poem we'll be using words of the beautiful Irish language, but all of you here present tonight, not just the people from Belfast and Dublin, will understand exactly what the hell we're on about, due to our mystical powers of communication, i.e. we'll be translating as we go along. Thanks very much. Ismisha Nuala, I am Nuala, and I'm no Bob Oak. I'm not a doll. I've not got dyed hair like dry old briars hanging off my head. I've not got a face that looks like I dipped it in a slurry pit, and it plastered with some old slobber, got out of a bottle, got in a shop in the town. In the town, oh yes! Why, oh why, Girleen, do you coat your face in that fake tan? Who do you think you're fooling? You're living in Cheltenham, not Azerbaijan. My own hair now is so natural as grass that a cow could eat it straight off my head and be happy. And my own face is so like a fresh bucket of milk that if a calf came along this minute, he'd try and slurp it right off my head. Because I'm no Bob Oak, I'm not a doll. I wouldn't be caught dead doing the chiffon scarf test. I take pride in my tufty legs and me fuzzy pits. And I never mind my bikini line. For 'tis said, a great big bush brings good luck to your lady's bits. And I heed this because us ladies were under great pressure to be mowing ourselves all the time. As if you'd never get a shag if you had a bit of hair on you. Well, I can tell you for a fact that's not true. I'm rough as a badger's arse. And I feel mighty.
A badger's arse.
And I never step out in those old stiletto heels that do be sticking in the field if it's anyway soft at all. Not at all. And I pay no heed to them supermodels, as skinny as a sick hen's leg, scratching up the catwalk in their Versace threads. All those see-through dresses might be the height of fashion, but they're not much good when it's lashing rain and you're on your bike in December with a flat tire, 6 bags of shopping and a sick calf strapped to the carrier. I never let style go to me head. I trust me duffel coat instead.
Me duffel coat instead, and
A big old silage bag on me head. And I wouldn't be caught dead on a diet. Anything at all that's edible, I'll try it. As long as it fits in the wok, I'll fry it. I could set any bachelor here on fire with just one glimpse of my spare tire. Probably. For a smishin Nuala, a Celtic woman, August her Wellington feet, with a head like a meadow and a face like cream. Underneath my duffel is a farmer's dream. I am a timeless woman. I'll always be in vogue. What am I not?
I'm no bobo.
Loosely translated.
I'm not a dog.
Thanks very much.
Thank you. Well, it's great to see you now. Nuala was there actually talking about the joys of body hair in that last poem. Which
I don't want to sound like a hypocrite. I did make the concession of taking the scissors to my armpits in deference to the front row for the gig this evening. And because the video is being made, you know what I'm saying? I thought I at least I'd do that. So I just want to clarify.
Fair play to you. Fair play to you.
Thank you.
But no, she was just saying there in the poem about the the poem, which by the way was very heavily influenced by Yeats. I don't know if you got that.
Don't patronise them, Nuala. Of course they did. Yeats and Pam Ayres.
But no, she was just there talking about the whole kind of tufty hair thing, and she's desperate problems. Desperate problems.
Not as bad as Nuala's
Nuala's
worse.
Well, yeah, I do. I have a terrible problem with body hair myself. I have to shave myself at least 3 times a day. Yeah. Once I let it go for a few days, somebody thought I was a shrub walking down the street. Desperate.
I love the way you put it, Nuala, tufty hair problems. Tufty.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can imagine that headline in a magazine on the front of Vogue. Have you got tufty hair problems?
Talk to Nuala. Not you again, you big idiot. Anyway, no, because summer is here, and summer for me conjures up images of lying on a couch in a beautician's getting the bejesus ripped out of the old BL. Oh, look at Philip doesn't have a clue what I'm talking about.
I'm telling you, Philip, if you saw me on a beach in my bikini, you'd be saying to yourself, God almighty, why is she wearing a fringed bikini?
It's desperate. She's like one of them Afghan hounds running down the beach. It is sinful.
Keep trying to braid her hair, you know?
Yeah. That's true. Children keep coming up to her and trying to braid her hair.
Yes, that's right.
But no, I like the very smooth sheen, you know, kind of feminine look myself. I go for the waxing, the old. Oh! Anybody go for it? Nina? Go for the wax? Oh.
Shaving, is it? Just the Bic raise a few once a week. Same day you wash your hair, is it?
You must be doing all that tomorrow, are you? I know, that was just a little joke. Sorry about that. But no, in fairness now, I go for the old waxing, you know. It's very, very painful. Anyone who goes for it, brilliant tip. I normally take a horse tranquilizer before I go in. Oh, I'm not joking. It's the absolute business, and it knocks you out for a few days as well. You know, if you're feeling a bit depressed and you want to get away from it all, you know.
What about the side effects, Nuala?
was also an impersonation of Mary Robinson. Our ex-president. Thanks for the groan there.
Actually, to Nina, to be honest, I never heard any of the nonsense about this body hair stuff anyway myself. I just remember one thing my grandmother used to say to me, which was, Nuala, just you remember, a man in the bush is worth two down the pub. Thanks so much. It makes a lot of sense. It does make a lot of sense.
It does.
Philip's wife knows all about that.
That's right. She can vouch for that, yeah.
She's got the best of both worlds there, I'd say. But
Anyway, we're going to lash on into our next number, which it's very exciting. It's a French cabaret number.
it is indeed. We hope you like it. It's about somebody who leaves their roots and they're living a very glamorous lifestyle far away in a foreign land, and then they meet somebody else from their hometown who's also living a fairly shishi life, and they're reminded of where they come from. And it's quite a complicated song, so we have to entreat you to listen up for this one. And there's several references in here we'd like to clarify, and we mentioned several Irish designers. One of them is Lainey Keogh. Have you heard of her? She's a famous knitwear designer, knits crochet dresses for all the top stars, you know, like Sue Pollard, Julie Goodyear, all of them. Jumper would cost you up to £350 now. That'll give you an idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Actually, we also mentioned another designer, John Rocca. He's from Hong Kong, but he now lives in Ireland. He's very famous. He's a close personal friend, actually. He's given me 100 fashion tips since the beginning of my career, all of which I've ignored. But that does not take away from his achievements, and we mentioned him as well. So yeah.
Do indeed.
Yeah.
And mention loads of other people and things, but you know.
You'll have to work that out for yourself. So
We'll be testing you, though. No one will be leaving until you answer all the questions about this next song.
yes, so French cabaret. Bonjour. Take it away.
You say your name is Brittany Baskerville. You fly first class with the jet set. You wear a crocodile poncho. You've a Michelangelo over your bed. A Barry Michelangelo. You put a coat of paint on the ceiling over your bed.
Helmut Lang designs your face cloths. Jean Rocca gave you his walk. You get on so well with Lainey Keogh. She knitted you a one-off sock.
Damien Hirst made your curtains out of live chickens and a cow. Every time you go to close them, they go moo and meow. You know who to know and what and when, to eat and to be seen. You were photographed in Michael Jackson's bubble, eating goat slip for the cover of Hello magazine.
Your nose was done in LA. Your teeth were done in Bonn. You had your chin enlarged in Leeds, in the same clinic as Celine Dion.
Everything you want, you have. You have more than you could ever need. But what goes through your mind at night as you snore in your satin sheets through your ears because the operation went wrong?
I remember we played in mucky gaps. I know you remember, cause your name isn't Brittany Baskerville, it's really Nora O'Toole.
Your mother's from Kilmuck Fetterer, your father's from Shitey Head. They owned a field in Knocknalooney, that's where you were born and bred.
Your father didn't have a bean, your leaky shoes were made out of leeks. Your mother boiled a pea on Monday, that's all you ate for the rest of the week.
When you're interviewed in social columns, everything you do sounds shiny and big. You never mention your first job was in Riley's abattoir, cutting the trotters off half-dead pigs.
You shared a bed with your 15 sisters. You all rode the one donkey to school. The nearest you ever got to a swim was when you fell into the packet soup that you tried to make with the tears that you cried as you lay in the bottom of the dry well.
Do you ever think of that as you sip sparkling elephant slop from your tusk, as you lay in your foie gras encrusted thong by your baboon-shaped pool with the bongo inlets?
So goodbye, Brittany Baskerville. Your secret's safe with me. I won't whisper a word about you if you don't say a word about me.
Long ago you knew me as Father Pat, from the place that we call home.
Parish Zsa Zsa de Popey, a transsexual living in Rome. So farewell, Nora O'Toole, and goodbye, Father Pat. We can never go back to Knocknalooney, 'cause they laugh at our Italian hats on our backs and on our legs. Ha 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 ha.
Thank you, Frank. Thanks very much indeed. Now you'll see that I have picked up one of the instruments that have been lying around the stage over the last hour and a half. It is in fact le recorder, as they say in Spain. And there's a little story behind this, because we're all instrumenties, as we say, not just vocalists. You'll be seeing that a little bit later on. But there's a little bit of a story. I come from the same village as Nuala. I don't like to mention it. I'm leaving it behind me.
Clondangan.
Thank you.
You know the kind of place, Philip? Lots of cows and sheep. The suicide rate's a bit high.
There are actually 6 of us when we started out.
Same village, very different background. Nuala was telling you there earlier on that she comes from a very poor background. I myself am very, very well off, you know, an awful lot of that. Dust. And thanks, Philip. But just to give you an example, the morning of my 21st birthday, my father came into me with the key to the barn. I went outside, I opened it up, full of bullocks. Daddy says to me, Nuala, they're all yours. Do you know something? I didn't want to know. Didn't want to know. When other girls my age would have killed to be seen walking around town with livestock of that quality. I said, you can keep them. I don't want them. I ran down to the bottom of the garden, right, to the vegetable patch. I reefed up a turnip. I held it up to his face like that, and I said, that is what I want for my birthday, Daddy. Did you get me? That's what I want. He was absolutely furious. He sent me off to Africa, to the missions, where I worked with the Little Sisters of the Shunned. Yes, in the marketing department. And coincidentally, because this is all going somewhere, it was there that I took up this very recorder, and I will never forget the day Sister Mary Mother Teresa, Immaculata Concepta de Rome, came into me in my room. You know, the type with the hair. And she said, Nuala, I'm after hearing you practicing that, she said, and to my ear, she only had one ear as well. To my ear, she said, that sounds incredible. She said, you've got a vocation. She said, follow your heart. And I did. And that is actually how I'm here tonight in this business we call show at the height of my career in Cheltenham.
Anyway,
Thanks
It's
very
absolutely
much.
fantastic. We're going to move over to the piano anyway for this number to utilise some of the vast expansive stage area in this, the jewel in the crown of Cheltenham theatrical establishments. Thanks very much.
that's right. You can actually see this pose in the Nuala calendar for July. And yeah, that's great.
We'll just leave it up to our imagination what the other months are. But this will give you an idea.
Oh, you should see what it's like once you get to... Yeah, that's December. Merry Christmas, Philip. Anyway, this number is from the perspective of a woman in her early 50s as she contemplates the health of her odd job man. Yes, it's very popular content in songs these days.
Just get a level, thank you, Freds. Sorry, could I have a little bit more on that, please? He's out of it now,
Completely. He's gone.
Oh, Jesus, no, there's the lights. 2, 3, 4. Oh, shite.
Mr. Durkin, you're back. Mr. Durkin, you're back. After your heart attack. Mr. Durkin, you're looking well. Mr. Durkin, you're here after nearly half a year. Mr. Durkin, I've been through hell. It's good to see you walking through the door. Jesus suggest that you fix them first.
Thanks be to God your bypass worked.
I was sad you were gone, 'cause the grass has got awful long.
Do you still cost £3 an hour? It's good to see you, very good to see you. Bringing out my bins again, bins again. Bins again. Watch your back, please, watch your back. That's my new hatchback you're backing into. I don't want a dustbin scratch. Skiddly rat rat ratch.
Mr. Durkin, I'm late. When I'm gone, you can paint the gate. Then help yourself to a cup of tea. And please be careful not to die. I hate goodbyes. No goodbyes. 'Cause a good odd job man is hard to come by.
Thanks very much.
You're welcome. Sorry. Anyway, do you know one of the great advantages of being involved in this business, Steve, is that you get to hang out with an awful lot of celebrities. But before we create any distance between you and us, and, you know, we're not saying we're great or anything, I just want to tell you, sometimes when you meet these celebs in the flesh, they can be shocking disappointing. For instance, there recently at a posh party in Dublin, I got to meet one of my Hollywood heroes, Jack Nicholson. Yeah, but get this, he is only the size of a coffee table. Do you know the middle one in a nest? I couldn't believe it. Shocking.
Michael Flatley. They're not his real legs. It's all done by computer. He walks out on stage, somebody presses a button, and his legs go apeshit. And Britney Spears, we did a gig with her recently, remember that, girls? We saw her passport backstage. She's actually 42. And she's a man.
Oh, yeah. Delia Smith, television cook extraordinaire. My arse. Hanging out of us there a few months ago, right? Invites herself over to my place for the weekend, if you don't mind. One word, slob. I am picking up after that woman for 3 days solid. And the effing and blinding out. Give me the effing pizza. Where's the blinding toilet? You know all this crack? God on my... She's sitting in my sitting room, right, in front of the television. Keith Floyd comes on. She takes off her boot. Doc Martin. Chucks it at the screen and uses the C word.
You cook.
What about Sting, Nuala?
Sting, there's another one. I was absolutely crazy about him, right? I was asked to do a duet with him.
It's just the two of you, wasn't it?
I am standing in the wings of the Royal Albert Hall, waiting to go on to do this number. Just the two of us there. 2 minutes to go, in my element. Doesn't he let off? God, I nearly died. And then he tries to blame it on me. I don't know how people take him seriously with that whole rainforest thing. You know that thing?
Yeah, there he is, destroying the ozone layer. You know, it's probably where his hit song comes from. Don't stand so close to me.
It just goes to show that there is no point fancying a crap celebrity. So with that in mind, we've written this next number for a very famous movie star whom we adore. In fact, some people might say that we're obsessed with him. It's not that. It's just we see him everywhere in all things that we do. So for you know who, this one's for you. Every time I look at you, my eyes light up like headlights on a truck.
And if you ran me over, I'd be happy as a pig in muck.
I order super lunch, I look into the bowl, I see your face.
I eat a sandwich, and you are the bread that holds the ham in place.
I see you everywhere. You're the coat stand in the hall and in the aquarium. You're the fish that's on the ball.
But you don't notice me at all.
Cowbell, please, Nuala. That's enough.
I go out shopping and I seem to see your face at every till.
I load the car up, I reverse endure the child I almost kill.
And in the church ground when I'm walking, I look up and you're the bell.
And in confession, Father Bob says that he fancies you as well.
He sees you everywhere. You remind him of Pope Paul, but do you really care? We've nailed your picture to the wall,
But you don't notice us at all.
Donald Sutherland, Donald Sutherland, Donald Sutherland, Dad of Kiefer Sutherland, Donald Sutherland. You're so muscular and tall, you're Canadian, but you don't bore me at all. Donald Sutherland, I've loved you since I was small,
But you don't give a feck about me.
at all. Donald Sutherland.
That's great. Thank you very much indeed. Thanks very much indeed. We have actually come to the last number of the evening. Oh, no, it's all right. We've got an encore. Jeez, it was touch and go, though, wasn't it? Thanks, Philip. Yeah, drink on. But leave him alone. Anyway, no, it is our last number, and it's our. We're going to lash up the energy. Warning to the front row now for Nina and Co in the front row. There, it gets a bit hairy every now and again. You know, we're going to kind of like really go for it. It's our rock out number, so we're quite excited about doing. We just wrote it.
We did indeed. It's gas, you know, the whole songwriting process, Stephen. It's crazy, you know, because sometimes you could literally spend up to 5 years writing a song, and sometimes they're out in 5 seconds, you know, like Oasis. And this is one of those kind of songs.
This is one of these, because I tell you, I was going around Cheltenham yesterday morning like a mad whore looking for a pork chop. Jeez, I could get a decent bit of meat anywhere. What was I like?
Oh, you were like a bitch. Oh, sorry, Nuala, you asked.
Sorry, was I? Well, I was, and I'd loads of this energy, you know, and I said, come on, we're writing a song. And it all happened, you know, it was great. So we're going to do it for you now. It is our rock out number, last number, and it, in the true tradition of rock out numbers. Are you ready to rock? Yes! Jesus, think about it. Let's try that again, right? Are you ready to rock? Yes! We wrote this last night. We hope it's still relevant today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this song is called Modern World. Jesus Christ!
Where have all the butcher shops housewives gone? Where have all the independent meat sellers gone? I miss the carcasses, bloody carcasses. The carcasses. Where has all the crimpling gone? I miss that itchy fabric. It really turned me on when I wore trousers, synthetic trousers. I felt like dynamite. Ooh yeah. Modern world, you're so impersonal. Don't have a window, no time to chat, no face-to-face communication.
Well, I'll fax you this, and I'll fax you that. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Where has all the lino gone? Everyone has dance floors in their kitchen. I miss the patterns in patterned lino. You couldn't see the dirt. Modern world, you're so modern, but all your modern things I rebuke. The internet doesn't really wash with me, and sushi makes me puke. Where have all the housewives gone? Where have all those quiet little homemakers gone? They're running companies, successful companies, yeah, dirty companies. People say I'm mourning, but I'm not mourning. I'm just questioning, 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 yeah, we're questioning, 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 what? Questioning, spell it, questioning, Questioning, yeah. Querying, Querying, yeah. Investigating, yeah.
Hyper-paradoxizing.
Yeah.
Nula on recorder.
absolutely rehearsed. I have never fallen over with such style and aplomb.
We were having a little chat back there, and we were talking. There's an awful lot of laughter in here tonight, which is fantastic and everything, but there's also an awful lot of pain. And we, as artists, our chakras are open. And
Nuala is always going around with her chakras hanging open. Steve, I'm always saying to her, will you close up your feckin' chakras? Nobody wants to see them hanging open in front of their face. It's repulsive, to be honest. But that's the way, and we couldn't help feeling it. A lot of relationship wounding in here. We're going to do a song about relationship wounding. So if anybody wants to weep openly, please feel free. We'd feel gratified. For this particular number, we have got into a triangular formation. which of course, Steve, you will know represents a triangle.
This song is from our Wounded Woman tour, 1999. I don't want to mention any names, but I'd like to dedicate it to Freds, our sound and lights man. I said earlier in the show that I've had sex twice. I've actually only had it once, but it was with Freds. And seeming as he does both sound and lights, it felt like twice. So, Freds, this is for both of you.
What's happening to me? Looks like your arse is on fire. I don't know, it must be all the chat I've been having with you, Philip. I don't know what it's doing to me.
Jesus. I feel like Kate Bush.
What, you feel like Kate Bush, Nuala?
Yeah.
You don't look like her.
Yeah, she's huge.
She's got a new album coming out, doesn't she?
Fat Bush Slim.
You are amaze to me. Your twists and turns amaze me. Amazing. Life with you is a labyrinth of pain. Na 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 na. Fix my geography. Place me. You are my wound.
Ouch.
The pus of love drips from you too soon. Beneath the moon, you've turned my womb into a tomb. Stretched on your loom, I'm a tapestry. Weave me. Hang me on your wall.
Nails.
Your prison wall.
Rusty nails.
Don't let me fall. I hear you call. Did you say your name was Paul?
Paul? Paul?
It's not Paul at all. Liar, liar. Underpants on, underpants on. Fire. You are my bandage. You're the cellophane wrapped around my big salad sandwich. Cheese me, cheese me. Lettuce and tomato. Please me. You are a tree.
Deciduous. Bonsai.
You've stuck your roots so very deep inside of me. Leave me, leave me. No, don't leave me. No, don't leave me. No, don't leave me.
much.